beauty of coming up now is you don't need a major label to get your product out there, to be seen, to be heard. And so it's opened up in that aspect. And the beauty is everybody's got a chance.
It ain't that I can't stop, it's that I won't stop. I made a few plays off a flip, now I'm on top. I'm Southside Chief, homie, what you know about it? Lake Street legend CEO, not the co-founder. What you wanna know about me? I'm so churched up, I'm the last man standing, but I went first up. Most hated, they don't say it when I roll up. The things that people say about me, they don't say close up. Check it, I ain't been to the booth in a minute. Niggas hate the fact that I'm winning. Who makes him the chief of the South Side? Oh my nigga, I'm not the lieutenant. When I was in the gym, you wasn't in it. FaceTime, so my windows is tinted. If I said that shit, then I meant it. Niggas gave me the rules and I bent it.
Hold that thought. We're going to continue this conversation on the mic. Okay, ready? All right, another episode of Minnesota's #1 daily show live on Lake Street. Special guest in the building. Do you just go by Patrick Adams, or is it PA Patrick Adams? PA?
Either way.
Patrick Adams.
Yep.
I always enjoy interviews like this because if I'm being real, like I'd never heard of you before.
Yep.
But that lets me know that music in Minnesota actually runs a whole lot deeper than most people know.
Absolutely.
And I feel like I find this out maybe once a month. I'll run into an artist similar to you that's been really doing this for decades.
Yep.
Putting in the work, and it's still fruitful for you.
Yep.
And I think part of the reason I really like that is because it gives me hope.
Absolutely.
For the younger generation that, I don't know how much you pay attention, but the conversation over the past decade has been so dominated by, when is Minnesota going to get on? When are we going to get recognized? Why aren't we looked at as the next Atlanta? We have so much talent here, but nobody ever, we need unity. We need this, we need that. And my thought process, not always, but probably the past 5 years has been, we're getting there.
Right.
That's happening. We're still in kind of if we're speaking specifically in the hip hop genre, which is what we predominantly cover. It's not all we cover, but it's predominant.
Right.
Predominantly what Live on Lake Street covers. Hip hop is really still in its infancy stages in Minnesota.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? We're not like New York, where New York is the hip hop. It's 50 years old in New York. It's 50 years old in the world, but Minnesota specifically, we really only had a hip hop scene for 20-ish years, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit around then, 25 years.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're still really young and figuring it out. And I feel like in another 20 years, I'll be sitting down with some of the artists that I've interviewed today.
Right.
Going, look at them now. See, we knew all along, you know what I mean? And someone like you kind of gives me that perspective where it's we just got to keep going. Got to keep going. So I want to get into your journey a little bit and how it started for you. We talked a little bit off the mic, but I want to talk, talk to the people about your journey, where it started. You started banging on drums.
Yep.
And then it turned into something that, did you think it was going to go that way? Or was it just kind of something fun that you enjoyed to do?
It was something that I enjoyed doing. Just kind of picked it up because I had a bunch of relatives that was doing music at the time. And, so it was just kind of a natural progression. Because I was always around it. So then I just kind of picked it up on my own and, rehearsed on my own until I got to the point where I was ready to say, hey, look at me.
Pursue it as a career.
Yeah.
So when you started, what were you thinking you wanted to pursue this as a career or not really?
Not at first because I was an athlete at the time. Growing up, I always wanted to be an athlete.
Yeah.
And then, it just kind of took over. And so when I had a choice to either go to college and pursue, being an athlete or doing music, it was kind of an easy choice for me because I didn't want to get all busted up and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was go get busted up, go hang out, do shows, see girls.
Yeah.
That whole thing. So it was just a little different for me. So I chose to go that path. And, at a young age, it kind of took off as far as, projects that I got to work on. And it went from being a drummer to learning how to be an arranger, to being in the process of how they were editing for, 12 inches and singles and all of that different stuff.
Yeah.
So I got to be around all of that stuff at a young age, and that just really, whetted my appetite.
So you were really digesting the business
Yes.
early.
Yep.
Which is, again, I think something that you actually just triggered a thought of mine. There's a massive disconnect in our entertainment scene here with the art and the business. I feel like people don't learn the business anymore.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks it's all social media. It's all promoting yourself and posting yourself, and there's so much more to it than just that.
Yeah, and
you see that as well?
Yeah, I see that as well. I mean, the social media now is such a huge part of it.
Yeah.
But in the aspect of the business world, like, that's a piece of it. But in order to protect yourself, you gotta learn the business.
Yeah, because it seems to me like artists, specifically young artists, I mean, a lot of people in general don't understand that, like, stepping into the music business in 2023, you're not going to become a millionaire off of streaming.
No.
It's not going to happen.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, you're probably not even going to become 100,000-aire off of streaming. Like, there's a handful of artists in the world that make that kind of money off of streaming.
Right.
And then everybody else is making it off of touring.
Right.
Merchandise, branding, things like that. So I'm always curious to get the perspective of somebody that's been doing this for a long time, because you've seen a lot of change.
Yeah.
You've been there for a lot of things changing. So, like, what do you have advice or anything for younger artists that are coming up now?
Yeah, I mean, the beauty of coming up now is you don't need a major label to get your product out there, to be seen, to be heard. And so it's opened up in that aspect. And, the beauty is everybody's got a chance. And, I mean, like, I see some kids, because I used to run a basketball program as well. And now I'm seeing a lot of the kids that came through my program. They're out here, they're young entrepreneurs. I'm looking up, and they got 200,000 followers on TikTok and all that stuff. And they're just posting up stuff like, this is what my boyfriend made me for lunch today. Let's see what I'm going to eat for lunch tomorrow. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching, and I'm like, you go, girl. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, and so it's wide open. But with that being said, you still have to understand there's other parts to that. Like you said, the merchandising, the branding. And then, there's some artists who have gone that route and done the social media, and they're putting stuff out there. And then once you get to a certain level, now the major labels will look at you and actually, some of them will pick you up. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, just studying and figuring out what your end goal is and then sticking to that plan and just not giving up. I mean, that's my best advice to all of them. Yeah. Just continue to learn, continue to work at it, and just keep going, Yeah. So that's my thing.
What's been the thing that's probably that's been the most important as far as your longevity in music? Because you've been doing this for a very long time.
Continue to grow.
Yeah.
Continue to learn. There's always something that you can learn, whether that is like if you play a certain instrument, you can never learn enough. You can always learn from someone else. Yeah. Just be a sponge. Be a sponge.
For sure. And changing, I imagine changing with the times is important.
Yep, changing with the times is important, and then also staying true to who you are. The beauty of what's going on now is you don't have to be in a box. You don't have a label telling you. A lot of people don't have a label saying, nope, you're going to sing these songs here.
Yeah.
I don't care if that doesn't fit with who you are. This is what you're doing. And then you have these artists that get uncomfortable with that and they kind of burn out because it's not really representing what they really want to represent.
Man, oh man.
So That's the beauty. That's the other beauty of right now. It's like, be you, be true to yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and then just stay with it.
Yeah. Do you feel like your genre of music is a dying genre?
Nah.
No?
I don't really have a specific genre of music. Yeah. I do all types of music. Mm-hmm. As a writer, producer, as well as an artist, I just don't have a specific genre.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're a very strong vocalist.
I appreciate that.
You're a very strong vocalist, and I feel like that's. So I guess maybe I should have been more specific. I feel like the appreciation for that is dying, which bugs the shit out of me.
Yeah,
because that matters to me. You know what I mean? Like I need my, I guess quote unquote R&B artists to still be able to sing, and I feel like people get away with not being very good vocalists and being R&B artists these days.
Yeah,
you see that too?
I mean, whatever works for you.
Yeah,
you know I mean?
I'm definitely not mad at people. Like, let me put it like this: probably my favorite artist in the world right now is Chris Brown.
Oh yeah,
like he's my go-to. He's my number. Like if I gotta pick something quick on Tidal to listen to, I'm going to the Chris Brown playlist and I'm just gonna press play.
Oh yeah,
but I think we can all say, anybody that knows anything about vocals knows, like, he's not the strongest vocalist ever. Man. He's a good singer, but he's not R. Kelly. Ooh, maybe that was a bad choice. But you know what I'm saying? Like, he's not. He's a good vocalist, but he's not like. I'm trying to think of like somebody. R. Kelly was maybe a bad choice, but you know what I'm saying? Like, that range is not.
Man, I mean, see me coming from
Usher. Let's say Usher.
Yeah,
he's not as good of a singer as Usher.
Well, I mean, you know, there's levels.
There's levels, right?
And me coming from being a musician first, and singing because out of necessity.
Yep.
I view singing a little different, and so I think all of them are just fabulous. Like, I can't sing like any of them. That's how I feel. And
well, I mean, from what I've heard of you, I think you're a stronger vocalist.
Well, I appreciate
than
that.
a lot of the quote unquote R&B singers these days.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I just admire all of them, man, because it you know, it takes a certain amount of discipline to even go out there and do it like that.
True.
I mean, you know.
But it also takes a certain amount of auto-tune.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not mad at it. It's cool.
Yeah.
But I do feel like it does take away appreciation from the truly talented, I don't need auto-tune at all vocalists.
Yeah. I mean, you got to understand, I came up and, you know, around Prince and, you know, people like that. And so that are just well-rounded artists all the way around that touch on all genres of music and are, you know, that is who, you know, we aspire to be like the Princes and the Michaels and the Stevies and all of that. And, you know, but each generation, you know, they have their people that are out there killing it. I mean, like, my favorite, and I wouldn't necessarily call him a strong vocalist, but, you know, I mean, Drake, like, he just kills it.
Now, Drake is he's a trash vocalist, really.
Yeah, but
like, he's not a good singer at all, but there's something endearing about his voice.
Jake makes it so that anybody that listens to his music can sing it.
Absolutely.
It's just like watching Steph Curry. Steph Curry's 6'2", 6'3". Every person on the planet feels like they can achieve what Steph is doing because he looks like the everyday guy.
True.
And so,
where's he at right now, though?
He's sitting home.
Okay, I just want to put that on the mic.
But he got 4.
He
got 4 in 9 years.
No, Steph's the greatest point. I think Steph has solidified himself as the greatest point guard in history.
But the fact that people can look at him and say, I can do that.
Oh, yeah.
I can be that.
Absolutely.
And so when you listen to Drake, in my opinion, the everyday person can say, I can sing like that,
Yeah.
or I can rhyme like that,
Yeah.
because it's so familiar.
Absolutely.
You open your mouth and it's like, da, da, da. I mean, you feel like you can do that.
Yeah.
And so,
I'm actually going to give that crown to Kanye. I think Kanye gave Drake the confidence to do what he does.
Kanye as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
just that whole.
But you're right, 100%. And I probably sounded like a curmudgeon earlier when I said that, but like, I'm never going to be the guy that's like looking at my kids, listening to their music and being like, what's that?
Yeah.
I want to hear it all. I'm cool. I'm because I know that my parents looked at me crazy
Yeah.
when I threw on Snoop.
Right.
Like, what are you know what I mean? Like, I know my parents looked at me wild. Like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
But I'm never going to be that. Like, some of the shit my kids listen to, I like it. I like some of that shit. Man.
Yeah. I mean, I got kids, and,
Yeah.
in order for me to stay current
Mm-hmm.
in a lot of the stuff that I'll write and produce, I got to listen to them.
Yeah. I imagine the kids are instrumental. My kids are instrumental in my career.
Yeah, man.
Because I never want to be the hater guy, the old guy that's looking down, hating. I'm damn near 40. So to sit in a chair like this and talk to you, most of the people I talk to are
Right.
in their 20s,
Right.
maybe early 30s, maybe. And I talk to kids. I sit
Yeah.
across from 16, 17-year-olds.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
Like I gotta stay with the whatever's going on in the world. You know what I mean? Otherwise, yeah, I'm gonna end up looking like the old man hater. Can't have that.
Can't have that.
Mm-mm. Not at all. Not at all. Okay, so talk to me about the new single. It's creating some buzz, getting some attention.
Yeah. If I Ruled the World, Change of Heart.
Mm-hmm.
Because of what it speaks to, makes it like a universal song.
Yeah.
And it's been getting some buzz.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have reached out to me about wanting to do interviews and wanting to find out if I want to come perform it and all that kind of stuff. So that's been cool.
Yeah.
It's been opening up some doors, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. What was the inspiration behind it?
Wow. So growing up South Minneapolis, kids growing up, born in South Minneapolis, and the George Floyd area, those things that happen, things that have been happening in our communities across the country for many, many years.
Yep.
And then also what's going on in the world, Russia invading the Ukraine and all of that kind of stuff. It just got to a point where, in my spirit, it was like, you know what, it's time. I need to write something about this.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like my cry out for, we all need a change of heart, and then writing it from as an adult, but also looking at it from like a childlike lens.
Yeah.
If
I
I
like that.
ruled the world,
Yeah.
I would do X, Y, Z. It would be like this. I'd be able to play with all the friends, reflecting back to what it was like in my childhood.
Yeah.
I had friends of every race and nationality, and that innocent time. And it's like, as adults, we need to look at things from that lens,
Yeah. I mean, was any of the inspiration, the original, the If I Ruled the Nas, or wait, wasn't even the original though.
No.
But not Nas and Lauryn Hill. That was who was the original before Nas that did that?
I'm not sure.
I don't know either. Damn it! I should probably do my research on that. I know that was actually a remake,
Right.
and not your song doesn't sound anything like it. But I was just wondering if there was any inspiration about that because it's a very similar theme.
Yeah.
It's a very similar theme. Which how could it not be? Obviously, If I Ruled
Right.
the World. But I do like your perspective of seeing it through a child's lenses.
Right.
Because they're the ones that matter, right? They're the ones that are going to inherit what we leave behind.
What we leave behind.
Yeah, and we've left behind
a mess.
It doesn't seem to be getting better.
Well, and the whole thing. So if you've seen the video, how the video ends is a reflection, and so there's all of these people that are standing there and they're walking arm in arm.
Yeah.
And the still photo is a reflection of everyone back, and it looks like you're looking at water.
Yeah.
And there's a reflection back. And what that reflection symbolizes is it all starts in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
The person in the mirror.
Yeah.
You are the change.
Yep.
Be that change. We always look to others to be that change. And it's got to start here first.
Yeah.
So that's what it's really all about. And it's my way of, pushing that narrative forward.
Yeah, I love it. I think that's amazing. There's been a lot of people. I mean, I'll say specifically, guys like Charleston White
Mm-hmm.
have come out of the woodwork and given their thoughts and opinions on George Floyd specifically and other issues in the world, and really push back against, I guess, people referring to George Floyd as some kind of a hero or whatever. I'm curious on your thoughts on someone like him. Do you see any point? Does he have any points? Do you feel like it's all trolling? Or do you see some of the value in some of the things that he said?
Well, I mean, my view on the whole situation is anyone can be a hero.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, number one, we all had a past. We've all done things that, someone else can frown upon.
Yep.
But what makes us who we are in the present is what we do now.
Yeah.
And the fact that those things happened to George Floyd,
Mm-hmm.
it was a period in time where Minneapolis, before the rest of the world, said enough is enough.
Yeah. So
any slant that anybody wants to take on that, you can't take away from that moment.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think you can say what you want about George specifically as a person or how he lived his life or the things that he was and wasn't guilty of. But a couple of things to me remain factual. One, the man didn't deserve to die.
Nope.
Two, even if somehow, some way, somewhere, someone could prove to me that the things that he had done in his life did warrant death, it's not on that police officer to decide that.
It's not your choice.
It's not, so that to me, those are two really important pieces to me. And the other thing that you said, which is also very true, is, we all have a past.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm here to tell you right now, I'll say it right here, firsthand on the mic. I'm aware of a lot of the things that George Floyd was accused of and guilty of and caught for. I've done shit just like that. Worse shit. I've done shit like that in my life.
Right.
I don't think I deserve to die. I don't think, you know what I mean? Like I'm not that anymore. So we got to give people time and room to grow. You can't just cut their water off before they have an opportunity to get themselves right.
Right.
Fourth, is George Floyd a product of the system that's been broken for centuries?
Right.
You know what I mean? Were a lot of the things that he quote unquote did and was guilty of done by, were created by this system. You know what I mean? But then lastly, to me, it's never been about George Floyd specifically to me. George Floyd was a representation of what you just said, the bigger picture, the bigger problem, the thing that we've been seeing in front of our faces practically our whole lives, as far as it being broadcast to the world.
Right.
My earliest memory was Rodney King.
Right.
And then it was more. Now we got Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. It's everywhere. It's constant. You can go on Twitter right now, and I promise you can find a video of specifically a black man being unjustly treated by the police. It's too many examples of it. So to me, George Floyd was a representation of what's been going on, still going on, all the time. So when people get pushback about, oh, why'd we build a statue? That statue to me isn't just George Floyd. Like he's the face of it, but it's about way more than that to me.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the circumstances created what it is now.
Yeah.
The reality is, as I grew up and as my son has grown up, and until this day, and I tell my kids, you know, as black men, as black people in this society, we always have to be mindful of how we interact. We're going to get pulled over. We're going to get harassed, so to speak. We have a target on our backs. That is the reality that we have to live with every day. And again, people are going to try to point out, well, this man did this, this man did that. And
what have you done?
What did you do?
Yeah.
What did you do?
Yeah.
And there was no reason for his life to be taken. Everybody deserves a second chance.
Or a third chance, or a fourth chance.
And a third chance, and a fourth chance. It is nobody else's right to take another person's life.
Yeah.
It just can't be.
Yep.
That's not your place.
Yeah, I agree.
And so anyone that wants to try to justify that, you know, you can miss me with that.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I agree. You know, yep. I mean, you know, when I bring up people like Charleston White, I think I've heard him say things that make sense to me.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I understand. Like, you know, when you talk about, you know, like gang violence. All right. I can hear that.
Yeah.
I'm with that. But to me, like, pinpointing gang violence is like, all right, but what about war violence? What about any violence? Like, why are we pinpointing that? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. People will probably kill me for this, I'm sure. People are going to get mad and be in the comments about me saying this shit. But I don't like violence of any sorts unless it's in an octagon or a ring. You know?
I mean, I don't know. Violence in a lot of cases is a choice that we make. And, you know, due to circumstances a lot of times. And I'm not here to say that we don't have a lot of, you know, self-inflicted wounds, but everybody does.
Yeah.
Everybody does. Absolutely. It's no different in any, however you want to frame it, culture. There's all kinds of different things that happen, whether it is blue collar crime, white collar crime. It's all foul.
It is.
It's just different levels to it. And so again, pointing the finger at what somebody else does, you got to look at yourself. What are you doing?
Agreed.
What are you doing? And then what are you doing to fix it other than pointing a finger? Yeah. So if you're not getting down in the trenches with a solution, I'm not trying to hear from you.
Yeah.
I'm just not.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. We took a turn to the dark side. we got a little we got a little deep and heavy there. So talk to me about what your plans are going forward with the music.
Well, so, you know, I just got back from LA, mixing a couple of songs out there.
Okay.
Just finished an interview with Source Magazine, which will be published this coming Monday.
Okay.
And just finishing up recording. I got a instrumental project that I'm finishing up mixing. I got the R&B project that we're finishing up, and I also have a gospel project that we're finishing up.
Wow.
So we're staying busy. Got my team working. One of my team members is actually downstairs trying to get upstairs.
Oh shit!
And I can't get off the interview.
Oh no!
And then so we're just working, man, getting merchandise out and you know, trying to promote the brand.
You had a billboard too.
Yeah, so when this particular single and video was released, If I Ruled the World, it got featured in Times Square on a billboard.
Major.
2 Fridays in a row.
Is that the first time you've been in Times Square like that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So what everybody tells me is there's only been a couple of artists from Minneapolis or Minnesota that have been featured on a billboard, and the other one's name is Prince. So, you know.
We've got a couple fashion designers I know of.
Yeah.
From here, but not musical artists.
That's what I hear.
So you and
I don't
Prince.
know. I don't know.
Hey.
I don't know.
Talk your shit. Say it.
I don't know.
Say it. Only 2. Patrick Adams and Prince.
So no, but it was cool. It was an honor. I appreciated it. The second Friday that it happened, I actually was out there, so I was actually able to see it firsthand.
I saw some of the content. That's got to be amazing.
Yeah, it's
cool. Is that mind blowing to you? You seem underwhelmed by it.
No, I mean, so at the end of the day, for me, it's all about getting the message out.
Yeah.
You know, and the more that get it, the happier I am, you know, and just keep pushing. You know how it is as an artist. It's like, yeah, that's great. What am I doing next?
Yeah. No,
What's
you're right.
next?
You're right.
What's next? That's great. What's next?
I definitely get that for sure. Yeah.
So, I loved it, appreciated it. What's next?
Yeah.
What we doing now?
I 100% relate to that. It's like, okay, that's cool, but now we got to follow it up.
Let's follow it up.
And that's one of my biggest gripes that I see in the music scene here is, all right, you accomplished that, now follow it up.
Right.
What's the next thing you do? Because we see a lot of people have these moments of success, and then that dissipates, and there's nothing that comes after. I'm like, you got to know how to keep the train rolling, keep
going,
the ball
man.
rolling, no matter what, because there's going to be pitfalls, there's going to be things that are going to stop you, there's going to be things that are going to make you pump the brakes, but you know, you can't you can't rest on your laurels.
Can't rest on them.
You can't.
Gotta keep raising the bar,
especially in the music and entertainment industry.
Right.
Well, I tell people all the time, you gotta be Kobe. Kobe went to practice before practice.
Absolutely.
You got to be able to outwork everybody else.
Absolutely.
Everybody else, because somebody is in the gym before you get to the gym.
That's right.
Somebody. If you get up at 5 a.m., somebody was up at 4 a.m. outworking you. You got to be that 4 a.m. spot, right? Like you
and then what is it that you're actually working on?
That too. And working towards.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotta have a plan. Gotta have a plan.
Yeah. Well, you seem like a man with a plan.
Gotta have a plan.
Yeah. Do you have artists? Do you have like young artists under you too that you're building up?
So there's some artists that I've been mentoring.
Okay.
That are doing pretty good right now.
Yep.
And you know, just want to keep growing that. You know, I'm always out giving advice and, you know, helping people learn how to record.
Yep.
So just staying busy with all that, man.
Good.
Yep.
That's good, man. Well, we got to wrap, but before we wrap, can you just tell the people everything they need to know about you, where they need to look, where they can find everything that you're selling, everything you're doing?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram, Patrick Adams Music spelled with a Z instead of a S, at Patrick Adams Music. You can go to my website, that's patrickadamsmusic.com. I'm on Facebook. I'm on TikTok.
I imagine they can find it all at the website.
Find everything on the website.
See, that's perfect.
Yep.
That's another thing a lot of artists need to have is a website.
Website and merchandise, all of that's on the website. We keep evolving with that. Hats, adding more colors.
And they can find the new single.
Can find the new single on Spotify, all the streaming services.
All the DSPs,
yes,
Apple
sir.
Music, Tidal, everywhere. Yep.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And there's a visual out too, right?
Yep, the video's out on YouTube, got a few videos out on YouTube. You can find me there at Patrick Adams Music as well.
Okay.
Yep.
So everything's out there. Patrick Adams Music.
It's out there.
Man, I appreciate your time. It was a great conversation.
Man, it's great being here.
For sure.
Appreciate you having me on.
Of course. Keep going, man. Just keep on going. Keep doing your thing.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it. That's it. Another episode of Minnesota's #1 daily show live on Lake Street. I'm Jake Faircloth. Follow me everywhere at Jake Faircloth1.
It ain't that I can't stop, it's that I won't stop. I made a few plays off a flip, now I'm on top. I'm Southside Chief, homie. What you know about it? Lake Street legend CEO, not the co-founder. What you wanna know about me? I'm so turfed up, I'm the last man standing, but I went first up. Most hated, they don't say it when I roll up. The things that people say about me, they don't say close up. Check it, I ain't been to the booth in a minute. Niggas hate the fact that I'm winning. Who makes him the chief of the South Side? Oh my nigga, I'm not a lieutenant. When I was in the gym, you wasn't in it. FaceTime, so my windows is tinted. If I said that shit, then I meant it. Niggas gave me the rules and I bent it. Same nigga that was trapping while I was suspended. You wasn't in them hallways banging, boy, you wasn't in it. Really a genuine nigga, homie, don't get offended. From East Lake, South Murder, I'm just it ain't that I can't stop, it's that I won't stop. It ain't that I can't stop, it's that I won't say. It ain't that I can't stop, it's that I won't stop. I made a few plays off a flip, now I'm on top. I'm Southside Chief, homie. What you know about it? Southside Chief, homie. Now what you know, look, I'm Southside Chief, homie. What you know about it? Lake Street legend CEO, not the co-founder. What you wanna know about me?